What's happening, young God, man? What's happening?
Nothing, man. These people just slipping, man.
What, what's going on with your ascension protocols, man?
Um, nothing. I mean, essential protocol.
I'm saying with your process of growth, man. There's always gonna be things that come along during your process of growth.
Yeah,
That's the protocol, the way you deal with it. That's no representation of how far you gonna be able to go.
right.
Frustration is part of the path.
Yeah, true, true, true. I ain't really mad though. I just gotta put them on point. Like I just coming on the internet, putting them on point, and not letting them get so stuck on the internet. Like, I just say what I got to say in the way they need to hear it, but to speak is not easy for me at all. I just, but it's
We
like,
we gonna sit down and have a conversation, man. I definitely want to peek more into your mind, how you do things, and I feel like your platform, your voice can definitely resonate even higher with your generation. You know what I mean? And we just want to get platform to that, man. I think we all got to go through our processes of refinement,
yeah,
right? And during that process of refinement, we get better at what we do. But there's always gonna be people that love you and people that hate you. If there's too many people that love you, you ain't doing nothing right. Not if it's not balanced by people that's not hating, because you got to disrupt the spirit of the people that's on demon time, especially if you're on that God's time.
exactly, exactly.
It ain't a single person that with an iota of proof of something evil, negative that they can say that I actively do or say. All of it is they wish that it wasn't true, so that they ain't got to compare themselves to the work that I actually do. That's the game.
19 people. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, everybody, he like this in real life. Like, even on some regular stuff, he's gonna put wisdom in your head. Like, when I sat down with him, he like naturally put wisdom in your head. Like, y'all
Because that's
man,
what we
he's
talk
really
about
like
on the
that.
regular, man. The conversations I have with the world are the conversations I used to have with my family. You
Right,
so it was just letting people into the private cipher. You know what I'm saying? And so now we here.
right.
Like I have no problem confronting the world. That's the difference. Once you take on the ability to be a public figure, right? Now you have the now you have to deal with the scrutiny that comes along with it.
Yeah,
And what people don't realize is they drones. Most people are drones and they react to symbols, and you become a symbol rather than a person of people,
yeah,
right? And so once you become a symbol, people have to realize, what does it mean. Some people react to money. They hate money or because they have a lack of it, right? Or some people hate power. They hate power because they have a lack
yeah.
of it. Oftentimes when we have a lack of something, we think we good for not having it, and we think that the people who have it are evil for having it, regardless of what they do with it, right? So we lose the ability of actual real discernment and critical thinking,
Mm-hmm.
because we individual and personalize things based on our experience, and we think the world revolves around us.
Woo! Top G game, man. Top G game. Oh, but yeah, it's real. Like, I mean, but at the same time, like, all you can do is just keep going, because like I ain't stopping. So it's like at the end of the day, either I got to figure out how to maneuver around these NPCs and drones, or I'm gonna just cry at everything that they say type stuff. I can't take a picture with this person. I can't go to this level, or I can't meet with these type of people. What if the universe put me in specific positions to do different things with my frequency? Because not a lot of people have my energy, my frequency, my knowledge, and I have to be put in these positions to give out that frequency and that knowledge. So it's like, it is what it is type stuff. I mean, I just don't have to keep going.
Well, it's all my experience. I'm a in this, man. I don't know nothing, and we're all just learning. The goal is to live long enough to actually know something, to do something that's worthwhile. And that's what I'm on the
Yeah.
pathway to. You know what I mean? It's like, give me another 10 years and let me see what's built out of it. When you are a first generation curse breaker, you're a first generation of doing something, you got to make all the mistakes because the knowledge ain't in the family.
At all, man. At all. I had to tap into this. Like, yeah, I ain't had no teacher. Only people that was teaching me was was the lectures I was watching, Bobby Hemmett, all the great lecturers type stuff, reading books that they dropped type stuff. You know, I had to tap in and find my roots. And I'm Gullah Geechee type stuff. So like my roots go deep. I had to go down into them. I didn't want my mama teach me the basic things on how to be a human, but it's like it was something more deeper in me that I had to bring out for real type stuff. And it's like as soon as I just start living in my purpose and going my light, so that's what all this started happening, you know. Cause like I was listening to like I be listening to Charleston White and stuff. It's like he was like a lot of people would chase the light, but what people don't understand is you don't understand who's pulling that light, who's pulling that light that you're chasing. But everybody have a lighter inside of them type stuff, but they dim it because they think somebody else's light is brighter. They want to see this light, but instead of just growing it inside of them and shining it. So that's all I'm doing. Just shining what's in me, you know. And I use my talent to I would say like express it. You know what I'm saying? And get better and work on my craft and learn, work on myself. I'm not working on myself for nobody else besides the universe. I'm not trying to be in nobody's position. I'm not trying to live to somebody else's standards. I'm just trying to, you know, just just live for me, live the best life that I can possibly create in my in my mind on some stuff. You see what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's all you can do, man. I'll be, I would love to see where your platform grows in the next 5 to 10 years. You know what I mean? As with all of ours, like if I think Malcolm X's story is a great example of what happens when you allow somebody light to grow. He had to go through iterations and phases of ignorance at the highest level, until he could become a refined version of himself. And if he had social media during his pimp phase, during his comp phase, during his hustling phase, during his heroin phase, man, y'all would have martyred that man. Y'all would have wanted him gone, dead, and say, man, he a sellout. He ain't for us. He would have showed up with one of his white girls. But what happened if you would have allowed that man to make those mistakes, to be refined, to get that knowledge of self, to develop a process, and then to become something worthy of championing for our people? You know what I'm talking about? I see y'all talking about my forehead, man. I got one of the best foreheads in the world. That's why I can't let y'all see it. I don't want y'all to be distracted. I keep it under that sun, moon, and stars, man. Just watch the cosmos. And that's a five-star. That's a five-sided star, man. Listen, I'm not a Mason. We don't do no Baphomet, none of that, man. That's that God body star, arm, leg, arm, head, man. Just know that. And it's funny because I'm in Wilmington, North Carolina, and a lot of the stories that I actually hear about a lot of the early black people is one particular, one brother named David Clark. He was born in like 1797, but he was born free. And he wrote a book condemning slavery, condemning the usage of religion, right, to justify slavery. And he just was breaking it down, but he was super intellectual. But he happened to come from that Freemason, Black Prince Hall
Yeah.
stock. So it's not that I condemn that, because there's a lot of intellectuals, and when you understand the Rolling 20s and up to the 30s, there's a lot of knowledge that came out of it. But at this current moment, I'm not really well versed in it, and I was always taught that Masons are my sons, Muslim sons, because they don't have the full degree of knowledge, but we come with the full degree. You know what I mean? So unless you hear the truth come out my mouth or the words come out my mouth, it's some bullshit that you're listening to on social media. But I let it rotate because, as long as your name is in rotation, then you can cipher those people that now giving attention to you to actually be converted to some truth.
Yeah.
So, all of it's a strategy.
Pretty much.
But yeah, it's some sun, moon, and stars, man. It's God body, man. Don't ever get that confused, man. Learning mathematics.
Yes, sir. Type stuff, man. But yeah, man. Yeah, you already know you're doing good things for people, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man. I guess next time you come to Atlanta, y'all got events. Invite me, man. That joint was lit last time. That joint was lit. Wherever y'all did y'all set that up, or was that just like the event that y'all like was invited to?
Oh, you talking about the reward event?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, they hired me to come speak there. So First, they hired me to do the stage with the ladies, and then they doubled down and wanted me to speak with Shaka.
Mm.
So, anytime I'm gonna be involved in something, I'm gonna make sure that my presence is known. But
Yeah.
one thing I can say about a lot of those entities, any organization is comprised of people. So when you are looking at the spirit of an organization, you're looking at the people in the organization. So when you call something evil, you have to look as it comprised of evil people, right? And then you have to look at the roots and the history of it to understand the foundation, because sometimes those people can be unwittingly, right, working for an organization, keeping an entity alive that have foundations and roots in evil. So something like, let's say, BT or Revolt. Revolt didn't start off as nothing evil. It started off as a good idea, as a foundation for a counter narrative for the culture. Now, do I like a lot of their programming? I think 90% of it is unnecessary, right?
Yeah.
But what they do try to do, as they work in a capitalist world, is try to have, some appeal to what the original foundation is, which is a revolt, right? And so, when they bring in the 19 keys, that's them basically, trying to set the spook by the door. So I work with people in the org. Anytime you see me, think about who I know. I don't give a damn about the organization. It's the people that work in an organization that won't change. Like, imagine if you worked in an executive position, you would see the world the way you see it now and be like, damn, how can I incorporate some of this budget to something that's real? So they tap in with somebody like me. And so to the outside world, it don't make sense. But to those who operating on the inside, they being spooks. That's all it is. And when you don't understand strategy and how to move, then of course it don't make sense to you, because you think the devil control everything, like God ain't got no power.
Right. Like,
And this just my barbershop talk.
for barbershop shit talk, man.
This just the barbershop talk. We ain't even wait till I stand up.
You spray that thing on your head and it start burning. And you
Yeah.
really go talk.
Yeah, man. I like the detractors. Anytime somebody sit there and listen, especially when they say you got somebody on your line that said that they don't like you, don't rock with you. All you got to do is just let them keep listening to you. You know what I'm saying? They there for a reason. They just there to be convinced that you are who you say you are, right? And they stick around long enough, you will cut through the bullshit that they believe. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. We ready. You know what I'm saying? I convince people all the time. They're like, man, I came there to hate. Yeah, shit, man, I got inspired. So you gotta allow them to stay long enough, you know,
Okay.
to learn something.
Right. Makes sense.
And then some people hate the accountability you put on them too. So when you tell people they got to do strategies to learn business, all they want to do is have conjuring parties to feel like they can manifest everything through spirit. Like they got to use their mind. So when you put that kind of accountability on them, they don't like you.
Yeah.
Like, no, you got to learn spirit and business.
Mind, body, and spirit. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
How you a god? You can't get no money. That don't make no sense to me. How you a god? You can't create a
right.
business. How you a god? You ain't a creator or nothing. I don't believe that.
And I ain't gonna lie, I used to think like that. I used to be like, oh, I don't need money, but it's like, hold up, I'm a god though, right?
Shit, we created money. We act like they created it. We been had money. Native Americans was trading goddamn rocks and coins and all kind of stuff.